If you feel relief when plans get cancelled, this video is not about avoiding people. It is about how your mind regulates differently and why that's often misunderstood. It usually does not start with a big decision. It starts with a small, ordinary moment. You get a message. Everyone's getting together tonight. You coming? You stare at your phone for a second. Not stressed, not excited, just thinking. Then you type, "Not tonight." No excuse, no guilt, just a quiet sense of relief. You notice it again when plans get cancelled. Other people sound disappointed. They say things like, I was really looking forward to that." And you pause, because inside, your shoulders relax. You do not feel lonely. You feel lighter. This is usually the part you do not say out loud. At family gatherings, it happens the same way. Everyone is talking at once. Voices overlap. Laughter fills the room. Someone is telling a story that never seems to end. You join in at first. You nod. You smile. You listen. Then, after a while, you go quiet. Someone notices. They lean in and ask, "You okay? You're being really quiet." You say, "Yeah, I'm good." And you mean it. Nothing is wrong. You are not upset. You are not bored. You just feel better sitting back, not talking, not performing. But this is where assumptions start forming. People think you are distant, or antisocial, or lonely, or secretly unhappy. Sometimes they even say it out loud. "You spend too much time alone. That can't be healthy." And you listen, confused. Because when you are alone, you do not feel empty. You feel calm. Your thoughts slow down. Your mind feels clear. Silence does not bother you. Noise does. And when people insist that being alone is a problem, you start wondering if something is wrong with you. But then a question quietly forms. If loving time alone is a weakness, why does it feel like strength? And if this is not avoidance, what is it actually telling you about how your mind works? That question matters, because the answer is not what most people think. And to understand it, you first have to understand why being alone feels so uncomfortable to everyone else. That is where this story really begins.
To understand why loving time alone feels so natural to you, it helps to notice how uncomfortable it feels for everyone else. Think about the last time a room went quiet. Not peaceful quiet, awkward quiet. A pause during dinner, an elevator ride with strangers, a few seconds where no one knows what to say next. Someone clears their throat. Someone checks their phone. Someone cracks a joke that does not quite land. The silence feels heavy, and everyone rushes to fill it. You see this at parties all the time. Music playing, people talking loudly, stories getting bigger, jokes getting faster. Not because everyone is having fun, but because stillness makes people uneasy. Most people are not afraid of being alone. They are afraid of what shows up when the noise stops. When there is no conversation to hide behind, no reactions to manage, no audience to perform for. That is when thoughts get louder. Doubts, unfinished conversations, questions they do not want to sit with. So connection becomes a kind of distraction. Talking, texting, staying busy, staying surrounded. It keeps the inner volume down. You notice this difference clearly after a long day. Some people leave work and immediately call someone. They turn on the TV. They scroll. They make plans. Not because they want company, but because they do not want quiet. You, on the other hand, go home and exhale. You sit down. You do nothing for a moment. And instead of discomfort, your system settles. Your thoughts organize themselves. your body relaxes. This is not because you are disconnected from people. It is because you are connected to yourself. Your mind does not need constant external input to feel stable. It regulates from the inside. That difference changes everything. It explains why long conversations drain you faster than others, why social weekends feel heavier than quiet ones, why you feel more restored after time alone than after time out. And this is where things start to diverge even more. Because when a culture treats constant interaction as normal, anyone who prefers less of it starts to look strange. But this preference is not random, and it is not accidental. It is the result of where your nervous system feels safest. And that safety shapes more than your schedule. It shapes how you relate to people, how you build closeness, and how you handle emotional demand. That shift becomes impossible to ignore. And it is exactly where the pattern deepens next.
This difference does not stop at how you recharge. It shows up most clearly in how you connect with people. You probably notice it in relationships first. You do not rush closeness. You do not feel the need to be in constant contact. You can go hours, even days without checking in, and still feel secure. Not detached, not uninterested, secure. You do not measure connection by frequency. You measure it by depth. At parties, you might talk to one person the entire night, not because you are shy, but because shallow conversation exhausts you. You would rather have one quiet, meaningful exchange than 10 loud ones that go nowhere. And when conversations drift into small talk, you feel it immediately. The energy drops. Your attention pulls inward. You start looking for an exit that does not feel rude. People sometimes mistake this. They think you are distant, or hard to read, or emotionally closed off. But what they are actually seeing is selectivity. You do not give your energy away automatically. You offer it deliberately. This becomes especially obvious when emotions run high, when someone is venting loudly, when a room is charged, when everyone expects immediate reactions. You pause, you listen, you process. You respond only when you actually have something to say, not to fill space, not to perform empathy, but because you mean it. This often gets misread. People assume calm means indifference. Silence means lack of care. Distance means avoidance. But inside, something else is happening. You are regulating. Instead of reacting outward, you move inward first. You let feelings pass through you before you express them. That habit did not come from nowhere. It came from spending time alone without feeling threatened by your own thoughts. From learning that emotions do not need an audience to be real. From discovering that clarity arrives faster when no one is watching. This is why you handle emotional complexity differently. You do not escalate quickly. You do not panic when things feel uncertain. You do not need immediate resolution to feel okay. And that creates a quiet divide. Because in a world that rewards visibility, volume, and constant engagement, your way of being moves against the current. Not loudly, but unmistakably. And that difference does not just shape relationships. It shapes where you feel like you belong. That is where the cost starts to appear. And that is what we need to talk about next. This difference becomes most visible in social spaces. Not during deep conversations, not in private moments, but in everyday rituals. Monday mornings at work, family dinners, group chats, casual hangouts. Someone asks, "So, what did you do this weekend?" Others list plans, events, people they saw, places they went. When it is your turn, The answer is simple. Nothing much. The room pauses for half a second. Someone fills the gap. Oh, must have been nice to relax. They smile. They move on. But something subtle closes. Because in many environments, busyness signals relevance. Activity signals engagement. Visibility signals connection. And choosing solitude does not always translate well. Your calm gets misread. Your quiet confidence looks like distance. Your comfort with yourself looks like detachment. Not because anyone means harm, but because the culture speaks a different language. A language where presence must be displayed, where enthusiasm must be visible, where connection must be constantly reaffirmed. You do not operate that way. You do not announce your inner world. You do not perform belonging. You do not need constant external confirmation to feel grounded. That creates friction, not dramatic conflict, quiet misunderstanding. You might feel slightly out of step, like everyone else received a memo you never needed. But here is the inversion most people never make. Loving time alone does not mean rejecting connection. It means choosing it differently. Everyone invests emotionally somewhere. Some people invest publicly, in groups, in shared rituals, in constant interaction. Others invest privately, in depth, in thought, in fewer, more intentional bonds. The psychology underneath is the same. Belonging, meaning, identity. Only the expression changes. You are not less social. You are selectively social. You are not disconnected. You are internally anchored. And once you recognize that, the confusion fades. You stop questioning your preference. You stop apologizing for your rhythm. You stop mistaking quiet for lack. Because loving time alone is not a flaw to correct. It is a signal of where your nervous system feels clear, where your attention sharpens, where your sense of self stabilizes. That is the psychology of people who love to be alone. So here is the question that lingers after the noise fades. When you finally have space to yourself, what do you notice returning first? Your calm, your clarity, or your sense of self? Leave a comment with what solitude gives you back.